then we now realize that we were actually the fool. Gratitude. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and forget not. Forget not. Forget not. Forget not. Forget not. If you want to live a life of gratitude, make sure you don't forget His faithfulness. If it warrants you having a diary where you write down all the miracles, deliverances that God has done for you, calm down and make sure you remember, because this world will try its possible best to make you forget the goodness of God, and will always remind you the ugly situations you passed through, so as to make you ungrateful. This world has a system programmed to make sure they bring only the things that you hate your way, so that you can only behold those things and make you aggressive and at God, as though God is, as if God is your enemy. Forget not. David was encouraging his soul. He was speaking to his soul. He said, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, come and join me to bless the Lord. He was commanding, he was taking dominion over those things, because he understood the technology of channeling, convincing his system and everything around him to bless God. If not, if you leave everything to the world will turn you to the things that you will see that will make you forget the benefit. So David was reminding his soul, he was reminding his everything that constituted his province or everything he had. He was commanding them and reminding them, have you forgotten how God delivered you? He said, forget not his benefit, who forgiveth thy iniquities. I remember how I was a sinner heading to hell and God saved me. I remember how I was sick many years ago and he delivered me. He said, who healed all thy iniquities? Who forgiveth all thy iniquities, and healed all thy diseases. All thy diseases. Can you remember? Can you cast your mind back? A lot of us today, because we enjoy sound health very easy, we feel as though it is normal. God has been faithful to me. I am a living testimony. There's nothing I see today that will make me to be ungrateful to God. No, I can remember. Okay, let me share with you a story again. Some years ago, I was just in 200 level university, and I slept, woke up from the sleep, and I felt very sick. Very sick. I was just a brother in the church and not as committed as such. So it was normally, if I feel any pain, I take authority immediately and pray. But that day I took it very casual, and the thing began to increase, and I was feeling, is it fever? I was just contemplating what it is and all that, and I'm not used to taking drugs. I'm not used to it. So the thing continued until the next day. So I slept that night, woke up very late, around 10 a.m. in the morning, around that time. So I sat down for a while before I stood up. So as I sat, I felt a pain, my right hand side, my waist, and I felt, well, it could be just a minor pain. I was taking it casual. So when you see me attacking things aggressively today, because I've learned from experience. So by the time I tried to stand up, I couldn't. The leg was gone already. I couldn't, as though it was as if this leg wasn't mine again. This thing started like a joke, and we began to spend money on medication. Something started as fever, but now has shifted to leg. And I couldn't walk myself. Friends had to hold, they held my hands. They held my hands and literally carried me to the hospital. And the doctors were trying and giving me medications. I think I also received injections, something like that, and all that. And one day the doctor opened up to me and said, "Young man, I would advise you to just go and begin to take all those native drugs. You know, those native herbs." He said, "This thing is rheumatism. And they don't have the cure." So then, and when I heard that, I became very aggressive. I said, "What?" I stood up. I began to speak in tongues. I was crying, and my friends I said, "Nobody should hold me. I will walk home." I was walking home in pain. The thing was so painful. I was walking and crying. I can remember. I can remember. And I got home. I remember then my dad came to visit me in school, and he saw the situation. He was like, "What?" We couldn't sleep at night. It was so pain. It was so bad as that. So I was praying. My dad was like, "Let's go home. You take me here and all that." I said, "Don't worry. Let me just write a test I want to write in school. I will write it, and I know where to go, and this thing will disappear." I know something, because as at that time, there is something I know. I tried my level of faith, it wasn't working. I know of a mentor that if I enter that atmosphere, the level of anointing present in that atmosphere, the devil cannot stand it. And I had to persuade my dad to go. That I will join them. I will come to Kogi State and all that. And 2 or 3 days after, I went. Being Saturday, so Sunday morning, my nephew held my hand. So we straight to church together. And immediately the prophet saw me and said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Sir, this is it. As a young boy that I was, he said, there's something I know about this God." Because actually that place is a place where they started training us in the area of in prayers. And I know something about the atmosphere of prayers. You can't enter. That devil is too small. Then we arrived. I arrived there, and the man of God looked at me and said, "Don't worry." He just entered the church and sat down and sit down. So I was there. When the service was on, he was ministering and all that. So about to finish ministration, he called me. He said, "My son, come." He touched. Immediately his hands touched me. It was as though they pulled out something. It was from that leg. And from that day till eternity, that pain disappeared. I can remember this one. I remember how I was in that pain, that medication could not handle it. And the presence of God handled it. So each time I remember that, I have to bow to appreciate God. Because I know a lot of young boys receive such attack, or similar attacks, and their legs are no more again. Some they have to just cut that leg away. There are a lot of things that I can remember. I have told you a story here how I live on medication from childhood. And today, reverse is the case. I can remember. If you can remember those things that God has done for you, you will be grateful. You will be grateful. A lot of us could barely eat before. If you eat once in a day, you will thank God. But now you have food at your disposal. You can give, you can. I know. The most annoying thing in this situation is that I see some persons who God has helped from that kind of struggling level, and to the level they are now, and they are spoiling food. He said instead of them giving, because they cannot remember. And remember, I told you in the last message that gratitude is not just in words. Gratitude is an expression of the heart posture. If your heart is in a posture or at the posture of gratitude, it will find expression through you. What you do reveals whether you are grateful to God or not. So we can remember. So if I see people in pain today, I can remember how God saved me from that pain that day. Those days that I could not walk at all, that inch. I can remember. So when I see somebody either sitting as a cripple or whatever, I am charged. I can remember how I was in that pain. No, because the same victory that I have received over that pain many years ago, that victory I have received to also set men free from that pain. He said, with the same comfort that thou hast received, he said, we also comfort others. So I have received that victory. I have received that anointing. So when I see you in pain, I am angry with that against that devil. Because we can remember. How many of us can remember the things that God has done to us? I'm giving you an assignment to make sure you settle down to remember. Try to, even if you can't count them all, you can't remember them all. Try to remember the few. Cast your mind back on the benefits of God that you have received. Psalmist was so mindful to remind himself the benefits that he has received from God. And he said, forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth thy iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. And he went forth to say, who satisfied thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed as the eagle. I remember how that I was so hopeless, as though no help was going to come, and God in his miraculous way strategically sent me help. If you can remember those things, you will be grateful. You will be grateful. Stop living life as though the whole world is against you. You're walking with your face frown everywhere, as if God has never been faithful to you. It's because you cannot remember. Can you remember just one moment and appreciate God? Just appreciate God in one moment. Just 1 second. Just appreciate God. Say, Father, I can remember. Oh, thank you. Mention them, one or two things that you can remember immediately. Just mention them and appreciate God for them. Oh, thank you. I just set my own story as an example that will make you remember some of those things.